All right, good morning. Let's get the show on the road here. I'm going to ask Pastor Dean to just open with a prayer for us before our meeting starts.
I can do that. They taught me how to
You
pray
can
and
do that.
everything. Let us pray. Dear God, we thank you for this congregation that has gathered here today for our annual meeting. We ask that you bless these proceedings, guide us to do what you would have us to do, which is always the most important thing, that we do what we are called to do as Christians. Today we talked about, being asked to follow, and grace does that. So continue to guide us and do what you ask us to do. Be with us during this meeting. In your name we pray. Amen.
All right, I'll officially open the meeting for the year ending 2022. At this time, I'd like to get Lou to read the minutes from our 2021 annual meeting.
Lost my glasses. I don't know. 2021 Annual Meeting of Grace Lutheran Church, January 16th, 2022. The annual meeting of Grace Lutheran Church was conducted on Sunday, January 16th, 2022 in the church sanctuary. The meeting was called to order at 10 a.m. by President Jesse Streitz. 34 voting members were present. Pastor Grant Ossing opened the meeting with devotion and prayer. Secretary's report. Approval of minutes of 2020 annual meeting as in the booklet. Hearing no addition or corrections, motion by Penny Isaacson, seconded by Gary Bondi. Congregation vote, motion carried. Treasurer's report presented by Angela Schaefer as in booklet. Hearing no additions or corrections, motion by Harold Glendy, seconded by Don Kolb to accept. Congregational vote, motion carried. 2022 budget presented to congregation by Angela Schaefer as in booklet. Hearing no additions or corrections, motion by Bailey Newman, seconded by Lori Williams to accept. Congregational vote, motion carried. Penny Isaacson, president of Grace ELC Women's report as in the booklet. Gary Bondi presented update on call committee. Process is moving along. Church profile is complete. Nominations presented as in booklet. Hearing no new nominations from the floor, congregational vote taken to accept nominations. Motion by Kyle Flum, seconded by Bailey Newman to approve. Motion carried. Nominations stand as in booklet. Motion by Lori Williams, seconded by Carol Bondi to adjourn. Lou Kuntz, secretary.
Thank you. Is there a motion to accept the minutes from the 2021 annual meeting? We have a motion made back there, and I think we had a second there with Lori. Is there any further discussion? Any additions or corrections to the minutes from that meeting? Going once, going twice. No additions or corrections. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to the treasurer's report. The treasurer's report. Is that going to be you, or is it going to be Michael? I'm going to move this.
Yeah. We're going to be here a while. Get your second cup of coffee. A few housekeeping things first. Michael and I did put the giving envelopes in your boxes, so please check that. If you don't want it, please give it to us. Or if you're giving online and don't feel like you need it, again, please give it back to us. Second thing, you should have gotten your giving statement. If you're here and you don't have one, please see Michael before we leave. About the giving statements, Michael and I this year tried to track every giving thing that you did. And so if the number looks different than your regular weekly offering, know that that's the difference. Any questions about that? No? Okay. Then to the treasurer's report, so this page. So just our yearly income was $145,607.53. You can see that total was made up of what members gave in person, what people gave online, and then other income. The second box is made up of our other income, and you can see I have that broken down in several different categories. The biggest ones coming from memorials this past year and from our roof fundraisers. Any questions about that so far? The bottom box is our income versus expenses and the difference. You can see the difference at the very bottom. The church was up positive almost $77,000 this year, which was pretty amazing, I think. Any questions about that page? Okay. This next page has been, so this one, this has been designed for clarity for what the council has decided, where is our money going, and so that everyone knows what we're planning for, saving for, and again, not meant to be confusion, more for clarity, okay? So let me just walk you through this. So it's a summary of our cash available. So if you move into the total cash December 2022, so I took the very final number from our our bank, and then you'll see mission listed there. So mission is our mission investment fund where we get a higher interest rate. And so the mission investment fund plus the bank total gives us our cash available that the church has as of December of 2022 was $209,000. Then the council looks at that cash available, and we allocate that money to, you can see we have an emergency fund in place. We're preparing for a pastor sabbatical at some point. We also use that for missions that the council and church feels, so missions as in giving to our community. We're working on upkeep for our church, and the final section is how much money we're raising for the roof. So we have, you can see, not allocated about $66,000, and I'm sure that will be an agenda item at our next council meeting where we want to move that money. Does that, again, there's been some confusion around this report, but it's really meant to add clarity for folks.
That's a clarity and transparency.
Yes.
So you know where the money is.
Is there any, the council looks at that every month, but I know for a lot of members, it's new. Oh, what's that?
One thing that gets really confusing is people see the term mission,
Yes.
and that's really just the name of the bank. It's a savings account. That's not our mission money, the $142,000. It's just a savings account.
That money is accessible to us.
Yes, it's accessible anytime. It just gives us a little better interest rate on that money. But that's not our mission money. It's just a savings account.
Did everyone hear that? So that total cash, the mission is our mission investment fund, high interest savings account that I could write a check for something tomorrow if we had an emergency.
Just a suggestion in that
Yep. Yes. I will change the title of that heading to add more clarity. Thank you, Pastor Mike. Mm-hmm. Oh, yep. You write that down. I don't have a pen. So in the top section, instead of missions, I can sure change that to benevolence. And then in the total cash, how we have mission and bank, I can change that to mission plus, just to, again, add clarity for folks. Good? My husband didn't come prepared. No other questions? I think we're done then with that. I think we're done with that then.
Yeah, we're done with that part. Right.
Yeah. So then, should I just move right into the budget?
Let's make a motion to accept the treasurer's report first, then we'll go into the budget.
I make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
All right, the motion was made. Is there a second? Second here. Motion was made and seconded to accept the treasurer's report as written. Are there any additions or corrections? Any comments? Anything at all? Under the memorials, I'd like to point out that a lot of the memorials have come to us with what I'll say, no strings attached.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
That we can use
Here, maybe you
that
should
money,
talk in the microphone.
that we can use that money for anything, any of the church operations that we see fit. Once in a while, some memorials come where they would like a specific thing, maybe a park bench or something here in the church. We did have a couple of things. We bought our new speaker system, our portable amplification system with the memorials funds. We're also going to update the lapel mics with some money that was set aside for that. That'll hopefully be a little bit clearer and, yeah. We are on the camera at this moment. This is my only chance to be on the camera, so I wasn't going to miss it. I'm always up there. So.
Anybody that's out there that has those donations?
Oh, I see. Yeah, the biggest funds come from Don Nelson. And unfortunately, we just heard last week that Don Nelson passed away after all these years. I think he was around 93 years old. Never was a member of this church, but he's given considerable money through the years to not only our church, but I think to to Nerstrand Church. Nerstrand Church. I can't even talk. To Nerstrand schools. Is that right?
Yes, he gave a nice donation to the school.
Because the school here is trying to survive, and he donated some money there, so that was very nice. Yes, good. So we have a lot to thank there with Don Nelson and his family now. But we may not get any more money from Don Nelson. Any other sizable ones among donations? I don't think we.
Several
The memorials, yes.
The roof board, yeah.
Okay, any other comments about the treasury report or additions or corrections on that? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? The motion carries. We'll move on to the budget for 2023.
Should I just give people a few minutes to look at it? Or do you want me to walk you through it? What do you not? Walk me through it? Okay. All right. Or walk you through it. Okay, so let's look at 2022 first. And this first section is our missions or benevolence that we that we do throughout our community. And the first section is what we planned last year, and then the actual is what we spent. And the big changes through this section was our intern program stopped. I don't know what
Yeah,
they
I think
stopped for the time being, so we didn't donate to that nearly as much as we thought. The Kenyon Senior Living shut down. And so as a council, we decided to donate a significant amount of money to Nerstrand School on behalf of the church. And we were about $500 short of that, just because we had thought about doing $500 to miscellaneous, which we did not distribute to any kind of family or miscellaneous things throughout our community. Any questions about that section? Is this too slow? Is this fine? Okay. All right, next, or if there is no questions about that, we'll move on to salaries. Okay. So clearly with our salaries, that has been very fluid. So thank you, Pastor Mike, for stepping in that role, but we did save a significant amount of money in the salaries department this year, since we did not have a call pastor. So you can see those between our pastor, our organist, secretary, custodian. All those things were pretty in line with what we had projected, if not a lot less. Any questions about that? I'm getting thumbs up from the back. It's great. All right, supplies. We were right on budget with that. I have nothing to say about that, really. Utilities, this was kind of a big one. Our LP gas bill has gone up a ton, as I'm sure all of us see within our homes. So we have upped the budget for that for next year, but that has been that was a big jump. Another thing that we saved money on, though, was our lawn services. So way to go, families, stepping up, mowing the lawn. That was, usually I think we spent about $1,200 on our lawn services, and clearly we saved about $1,000. So yay. Yeah, good, we like that. Let's see. So then we're gonna actually jump to the next page. So the little smaller section, just the upkeep, that's still talking about 2022. And that, again, we were a bit over for miscellaneous things that we needed to take care of. What did we have to fix? I think we had pests, maybe? Different things that we needed to fix. And let's see, our other section, again, that was pretty much right on, or if a little below budget. So we had projected about $84,000 for 2022, and we were well under that with $68,800. So good work, everybody. Any questions about 2022? Yes. Yes. Thank you, Skip. So Michael and I have consider that a donation of our time. So no, we did not take a pay. Any other questions that don't make me blush? Rick is not the pest that we had to pay for anyway. All right, let's move to 2023. We ready? Okay. So our Moving into 2023, we actually did reduce our kind of missions this year, and we did that intentionally, knowing that we have a call pastor. And so, quite honestly, we're going to be a bit tight on our budget this year. And so, that was, again, intentionally done. Next, into salaries, we moved through Pastor Dean's base salary, housing allowance, social security allowance, and then we have other benefits that he gets. Otherwise, that's all pretty standard for our salaries. Any questions about that? And supplies, again, this was very much basically the same. I did start adding more lines, again, more for clarity, but I'll try not to get too carried away. I'm now getting really good at Excel, so kind of dangerous. Otherwise, utilities, like I said, we did up our gas, how much we expect to spend. Otherwise, the other expenses are pretty much standard. Maybe we can save even more on lawn services this year.
And Jess, you want to say something about the settings on
Oh, well, maybe I'll let,
That, are you saying?
yeah, but it was like, maybe I'll let Jesse.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't want to get into that too much, I don't think, but I did install a programmable thermostat out there because sometimes I would come in the middle of the week and find the thermostat still set at 70 degrees. Somebody might come in and use a church, or they come in to work in the kitchen, it gets turned up, and they forget to turn it down, and next time I come, it's Sunday and it's been up all week. So there's a programmable thermostat there. The hardest place in the world to ever put a programmable thermostat, being in the heating business, is in a church. Because if you put a lockbox on it, within a month, everybody has a key. When I program it, it's difficult to program, so it gets changed, and in a real hurry, that can get really messed up. So I put on a new thermostat that only allows it to be turned up to 70 degrees. There's a code that I can get into it on. Nobody knows that. But if I die, good luck. No. But anyway, and if you come in to change it, the nice part about it is you can still change it. So let's say it's set back to 58 degrees, and you have Bible study or something like that. You can come in and you can change it to 70 degrees. It will go to that. But as soon as it comes to its next scheduled program, it will go back to it. So within hours, it will revert back to its regular setback program. And I think that's going to cut back on LP. We have a thing, similar thing here. We have a couple other thermostats that don't set back yet. So anyway, that's what I did. I think that'll help.
So, final thought on that. Heat is expensive. Don't mess with it. Add a sweater. Okay, so then, as far as upkeep goes, this was a big increase to our budget because we got some work we need to do. So we have about 10 grand for repairs and projects because we really need to do those things. And this is not including the roof. That's including siding and painting, other things like that. Any questions about that? Oh, boy. No? And so finally, we'll hop over to that last, on the other page again, that second box. So that's our 2023 section. And other, there really wasn't anything out of the norm. However, our total budget for this 2023, $103,000. And our average giving is about 86. So if anyone needs help signing up for online giving, I'm happy to do that. New givers, we appreciate that. Our continued givers, obviously, thank you for that. That's all I've got. Any other questions, concerns?
I'll take those questions and concerns after we get a motion in a second.
Oh, sounds
Then
good.
it's open for discussion.
Okay. Oh,
Okay?
yeah,
It's just a different order of things,
yeah,
but
do
it's the
your
way we're supposed to
process.
do it.
You got it. Whatever you need.
Then I'll go with that. Is there a motion to approve the 2023 budget? I think we had a motion over there from Mike, and a second. Take your pick. Paula, all right. A motion was made and seconded to approve the 2023 budget. Is there any further discussion? Questions, concerns, comments? It's pretty transparent. This is really nice, the way that Angela and Michael have done this. It's feels so good to have just such nice, clean records for us. And we have an auditing committee, and they review it every year also, so that will be done here shortly.
Well, they did it. They did it.
They what?
They already did it.
Oh, they already did it.
They did.
It's been done. All right. No more questions, changes? Everything's clear? Perfect. We like that. Yes, Lori's trying to say, yeah. You want a raise? No.
You should consider that.
I'll take Angie and so how do we propose to make up that 20,000?
Yeah, like I alluded to in my comments, in my opening statements there that I had in print, was that inflation hits us personally in our families, but it also will affect Grace. So unless we all kind of kick in, it will be hard to maintain. We do not want to try to live on our rather sizable emergency funds, or whatever you want to call it. We could do that for a while, but that will run out. So we feel, and the council feels, like we need to try to run our budget where our giving takes care of our expenses. And in emergencies, we have funds, set aside for that. But so I know we don't pledge or anything here, but take a look at what you got and what you can do, and it might help a little bit. That answered your question, or? Okay, good.
First of all, I think it's amazing
Yeah.
that all of this COVID and all of the disruption and being such positive financial condition, that is absolutely amazing. I came from a small church in Douglas. Our budget was $22,000, and we couldn't make that. So it's so wonderful to come to a church where we have enough.
Those annual meetings took a lot longer, I remember, because I was on the vestry there, and that was a strenuous time.
I have a question about the snow removal. There's nothing budgeted for snow removal.
I think we have some generous farmers around that help with that. Farmers are.
No problem. Maybe not. All right, if there's no further comments or questions, all in favor of approval, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Budget and treasurer's report is done. We are moving on. I believe the thing that we want to move on to is the nominations for office, for new members of the council, and so on. Let me find that section here. Okay, at this time, I think it would be best if I could call Barbara up here. She's a member of the nominating committee, and she's going to give you the list of, or the slate of candidates. We will be voting for this slate of candidates in one block. We're not going to vote each member. It'll be a block vote unless somebody else volunteers and wants to be on here. Otherwise, there's only one person for each position. But we would entertain, certainly the annual meeting is a time to come forward if you would like to be, would want to be added to that slate.
If you have that desire, let Sue and or Sandy know for next year. They would always welcome a yes. And okay, nominations for 2023: President Chad Newman, Treasurer Angela and Michael Schaefer, Consul Dan Sather and Kyle Flum, Auditing Committee, Jeanette Balson and Nicole Jones. Internship Committee, Terry Newman and Diane Glendy. Nomination Committee, Diane Banger. You can see how long each term is. Volunteer Coordinator, this is kind of a new one. Lou has kind of been doing it all by herself for quite a few years. So we're trying to set this up on a 3-year term, and then we can move people in and out. Lou Kuntz, she would be finishing her 3rd term. Rebecca Peterson and Pam Karen. And then we will be deleting the Sunset Home delegates because of the Sunset Home no longer in business.
Those are all listed in the, in this booklet here, so. Are there any questions about that? Is there anybody on the floor that would like to put their name in the running for any position here? Don't all come forward at one time. I know we have a lot of people that dying to be president of the council. If not, then I would look for a motion to approve the slate of candidates.
I make a motion to accept the slate of candidates for all the positions.
Thank you. And we have a second back there with Gary. Is there any discussion? Any further discussion? Being that there's no competition between offices or positions, I'm going to just go with a voice vote instead of a ballot. Yes?
I do have a question.
Okay.
We have 3 leaving and 2 coming out of the council.
Well, I'm leaving. Where's the committee? Chad, yes. Right. Lou, are you going off? Okay. Okay. I know it gets confusing, doesn't it, here? Because you get all these 3rd terms and then what they run through, and I know it's a little confusing. No, we're trying to keep the council the same size, so good point. We want to make sure that's correct.
So Luann should be up with the president at the top.
Yes. I didn't bring last year's book like this, so we want to make that clear, I guess. If we need to, we just have to put Lou's name in there for is that a 10th term or something, or no? Okay. So that's not correct in here then, that it just says 2022, doesn't it? Yeah, and that should say 2024. Good call there. You must be a business person. Okay, with that corrections, are we fine? Any other comments about that, about the motion that's on the floor here? And is everyone okay with the voice vote? No secret ballot needed? All right. If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations to the new people. And thank you.
So Jesse, who's coming off council?
Me.
You and Monica,
And that's it.
that's it.
Yep.
I think we need to say thank you to Jesse and Monica for
Thank you. Thank you. It's been an interesting time to serve as president of the council. And I have to say, when I was nominated, I had never even been a member of the council, which I think is a little unusual to be president when not even having served. So I was a little hesitant to do it, but you need people to do things and step forward. But we've gone through a lot in 4 years with 4 pastors, really, in essence, and COVID, outdoor services, going online. It's just been a lot going on. But like Lori had said, this is a statement of the strength of grace and how we just, really pulled through it with almost no problems at all. And of course, a big thanks to Mike. He was kind of the glue that pulled us all together this period of time. Are there any other committees that want to make a report? We talked. How about the Grace Women's Lefsa project? You have anything to say on that?
Sure.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, well, we made LEFSA. We made it 3 days again. I was going to look quick what we made last year on that.
I don't, just for sake of mentioning, and I don't even know if it's exactly accurate, under the funerals, should Douglas Kilmeyer's name be represented here, or was that into the new year? Because I think you got it in December.
Was that December?
Okay. That would have been, yes.
Good catch. Okay. We'll have the secretary change that. Yeah. Okay, LEFSA. We had 3 days of making LEFSA again, and we had a really good work crew. Started out a little light, but people, they didn't sign up, but they came to help. And we made a lot of LEFSA, and we had fun. We made a mess. We had fun, and we made $908 making LEFSA that went into the women's account so that they could fund their missions. So it went good. And you all got to eat LEFSA at coffee hour. And then just a quick note on the coffee hour. I just want to thank everyone who comes down to coffee hour and who contributes to coffee hour. It came to our attention, and I'll be honest, I did not know this, that coffee hour money bought all the kitchen supplies, unless they were donated, not the food. The food that we eat is all donated by the person serving coffee hour. But remember, we got to buy cups and plates and napkins and coffee. And I did not know that we bought the Christmas tree. We bought all the cleaning supplies for the entire church. So the council addressed that, and the cleaning supplies and the Christmas tree will come out of the general budget. Because we have $28 in our coffee fund right now at the end of the year, which obviously isn't going to get us too far. We need cups and stuff. There was some money given now in January. But just be aware of it, that when you come down for coffee, you know, $1, $2 really helps us to keep the kitchen stocked. And we have a new treasurer, Diane Bangert will be the treasurer on that account. And so, you know, if you ever want to give money, that's the person to see. So just thank you all for those that serve, and thanks for coming down and having coffee and for making a little donation.
All right, thank you, Lou. Yes. Okay. It was about a year, wasn't it? It was about a year, maybe 13 months did it take, something like that. We had the call committee formed. Yes, we need to thank the call committee. My problem I always have when I thank people is I know I'm going to leave somebody out, and so I'm hesitant to start that process sometimes. But the call committee has done an outstanding job, and it's not an easy thing. There's not a lot of candidates out there. I think we need more young people going into a seminary school. Definitely a shortage. I've heard the numbers before, just in our synod, and it's unbelievable. Yeah. So, anyway, thank you for all that work, and everybody else that comes here every week and does whatever you do. I like to see Lou because she's always walking around with her clipboard. And if she walks up here with a clipboard, you know she's going to ask you to volunteer for something. So run. But yeah, thanks to Lou. It wouldn't work without Lou here for sure. All right. Am I forgetting anything? We made some corrections here, but that's been taken in the minutes, so we should be good to go. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Yes, absolutely.
So we mentioned, thank you so much tonight for leading us the past year. And we're gonna, if you're available on February 12th, Mike, we'd like to have a thank you coffee hour for you.
Good.
Just so happens I'm preaching that day.
Oh, wow. You might want to keep... All right, thank you. Yes. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yep, back there, Paula. All right. Anyone else? What's that? I think it's the 24th of February. Okay, good. You can keep us posted on that. We can get it in the bulletin. Yeah. All right. There was a call for a motion. Is there a motion to adjourn? Lori made the motion to adjourn. You all can stay here, but I'm leaving. A motion was made, and then let's have Rick as a second back there. And Anybody? Going once, going twice? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion adjourned. Thank you. Thank you. Jonathan.